what can we do? And so that's the only reason why I said that. Like, much love, I like, not in a bad way. I was just kind of addressing that in regards to what we can do if you really want to help the United States combat this dereg problem. But I totally agree with everybody on this panel who's on this side. I think you guys are all making really great points, and the people who know the history or who have looked into the history of the CTELs know that this is an issue that was left behind to Mexico for Mexico to clean up. Also, there, like they said, there was some undocumented people who were promised citizenship if they helped the United States combat in the military, and then they were never given citizenship, and some of them were even deported. So just want to land on that.
Okay, thank you, Lexi. Let's go to Carolina. Carolina,
yes,
your time. It's your time.
Okay. So sorry, like I was slow motion earlier because I was drinking a lot last night. Anyway, so I'm gonna try to run over a few points. Smitty, leave me alone. I'm gonna try to run over a few points real quick. So one thing I wanted to point out about what Daniel was saying about migrants, it's actually the majority of schmugs come through legal ports of entry, and yes, as stated before, mostly ran by white men. It doesn't actually come across via migrants. So this whole demonization thing you have against Mexican immigrants is just like giving white boy energy, bro. But anyway, so also to go with what Suave said, we have actual declassified documents from the CIA showing the involvement in the U.S. interests in funding these cartels and building them up to the way that they do. We know for a fact that and this goes back to the 80s with the Iran-Contra affair and what was going on in Nicaragua. We also know that due to declassified documents, and a journalist, Gary Webb, in the 90s is actually the one who broke this information showing the CIA-linked Contra networks contributing to the rock crisis epidemic in Los Angeles. We also know for a fact that when they led to the fall of the Colombian cartels, like the Medellin and Cali cartels, the United States, specifically the CIA, went in and allowed this power to rise for the Mexican cartels. So I'm not going to say they created them, but they absolutely empowered them. And that was intentional. That's why they wanted to get Colombia out of the picture, because they had a more vested interest due to the trade evolution that was going on in Mexico. We know that the arms that are being supplied are coming from the U.S. government, not U.S. individuals, but the U.S. government. And the last thing I want to say, I know I'm kind of running out of time, and I can elaborate on more if people have questions on that. Again, all declassified documents that prove the CIA links. But the other thing is, Daniel was saying in the comments that the U.S. is not destabilizing Mexico. Sir, I'm just going to go through a quick list. And again, I can elaborate on this later. The Banana Wars, Cuba, Haiti, Nicaragua, the Cold War coups of Guatemala, Chile, Brazil, Nicaragua again, El Salvador, Operation Condor, which affected Chile, Argentina, Uruguay, Paraguay, and Bolivia, Panama in 1989, Venezuela now. This idea that they have not been doing this and that this has not been the U.S. agenda is absolutely insane. Oh my God, I forgot Honduras. You're right. There is so much evidence. And yes, he already stated at the beginning of the year that his eyes were set on destabilizing Mexico and invading Mexico. This is the impetus he was looking for. Do not gaslight us and act like we don't know what we're talking about. I land.
All right. Thank you, Carolina. Daniel, you got 1 minute since Carolina mentioned you. Yeah. Oh, I got you, fam. Let me let Daniel come in, and then I got you.
Okay.
Go 1 minute response.
All right. Thank you. All right. I'll look into those scenarios also, though. I do agree we have to look on corruption on both sides. I don't want to knock that down whatsoever and things like that, though. But then I'm glad you did admit, though, it's all they may not have started it, but in Mexico and these other nations that you mentioned, they began it and things like that. Well, America may have funded it, though, but who began it at the end of the day and stuff like that, though. I think it just has to be some accountability that needs to be taken and things like that, because no one is truly innocent. And I'm tired of this whole narrative to where leave immigrants alone, leave Hispanic people alone and things like that. We didn't start this or do nothing, though. I feel me personally, y'all need to go through this ass whooping right now. America don't need to bail you guys out, though, because your leaders and your presidents are corrupt. And we don't need to do a damn thing to help y'all fix your own scenarios and your situations. And America should not get involved in things like that. So at this point in time, I am just going to be sick and tired of seeing the protesters against ICE with your Mexican flags or your Dominican, your Colombian flags saying, I want to be here. Oh.
Yeah, you got time. All right, let me go. Go ahead, Covey, and then Swan. Those are hands raised.
Okay. There are some people in the chat who was, I just want to address as well, right? And also just in general, this idea that people think that non-Americans cannot have an opinion on American politics. I just wanted to say, if people think that, maybe America needs to mind its own business, okay? The American government cannot go around, as Carolina mentioned, destabilize whole countries, because the same thing that Carolina said, they did to El Salvador, by the way, too. Look into the history of El Salvador. You cannot, as a country, as a government, go around destroying other countries and then telling those countries they have no opinions or they don't have a right to express their opinions, bro. Whole continents were destroyed by the American government. The American government today is funding multiple genocides. I'm pretty sure Sudanese people, Palestinians, or Congolese people did not do anything to America, and yet America is going all the way to their country and funding, aiding, and abetting their genocide. I am so confused. On top of that, it has been a year since Emily Pike, the 14-year-old indigenous girl, was found unalived in Arizona. Where is her unaliver? Kyle Basinga was found also unalived. The Black American man was found unalived in Cobb County Park, and he was missing from Atlanta, Georgia. Where is his unaliver? The American government is able to find bin Laden in some rando mountain in like Pakistan, but it cannot like stop sundown towns in America? It can't find the unalivers of Black and indigenous people in America, but it somehow can find one single man in flip-flops in the mountains in Pakistan. I am so confused. Even the brother there with the Malcolm X photo, bro, do you think Malcolm X would have agreed with any of the things that you're saying? You're sitting here caping for a government that wouldn't spit on you even if you were on fire.
Thank you, Covey. Let me go to Swan. Go ahead, Swan.
Yeah, sorry, my dog is barking in the background. Can you come back to me next?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. Let me go to, let's see here. Let's go back up to Suave. Suave, what would you like to add from what you've heard?
Well, the dude that's talking about accountability, right? So it's on both sides. So yes, we both need to take accountability. So what I'm fixing to say is not to justify, but to example what he said. So if you create a monster, who is the monster then? You know what I'm saying? That's like, if you created a monster, who is really the monster? Because that monster that you created wouldn't be here unless you created it. So if you're talking accountability, that would be who? The one who created this. See, you're so, the dude, you so worried about outside of your government system. But did you know that because of your government system, you got to pay taxes? Your education, it's not really education that they're teaching you. It's false education at that. Oh, you want to go to college? Yeah, did you know before black people were before they started letting them go to these schools with these white folks, it was free. Education was free. But once the black people, the black community came in, guess what? They started making people pay to go to school now. You probably didn't know that because you're saying you're your government, but your government is the one doing this to you. And you're not even realizing this. Just like 9/11, that was your government. But you don't want to speak on that though. The government has been going around bullying people. How can you tell me that what Donald Trump did to go to Venezuela and take both the male president and his wife and bring them to Mexico, how can you tell me that was not illegal? Yo, that was so illegal. If that's not illegal, then these CT coming in the country and distributing these rugs, that's not illegal neither then. If you want to say that then.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Suave. Let me go. Swan, are you ready?
I'm all good.
Okay.
Yeah, I just wanted to say, because I feel like people really do not understand like white supremacy and what that looks like when it's carried out. So you have nations that are historically white and predominantly white, okay, that benefit from white supremacy and racism. And when that's carried out, right, we know that these systems that they've created and put in place, right, afford them privilege, right, control of resources. They've got a monopoly on violence, as y'all know, my brother Solid would say, right. And when you and we have a capitalistic economy. When you reach like the peak of capitalism, you start participating in imperialism. Okay, there has never been a time as to when the United States has gone into another country and has truly assisted people. 9 times out of 10, we're going to go in and exploit people. And the frustrating part about this is that there are people that actually look like me on this panel, right? That would say that just talking negatively and dehumanizing, using language that's dehumanizing towards people from Mexico, and then also like saying that we need to get them up out of here, this is that and the third. But we have no regard and no understanding, right, of the harm that we've caused when we go into other countries because of imperialism. It's not an even playing field in any way, shape, or form. I'm so sorry. Was there, could somebody name one treaty that the United States honored when it came to the indigenous community, the group of people whose land this belongs to, the group of people who should be the ones that are deciding, right, what happens on this land because this is their land? Do we not know anything about the reservations? And how the United States is neglected, right? How this is actually a G-side that has never truly ended? What are we talking about? Daniel, I think this is really frustrating because you lack the education to understand what we're talking about right now. And when you put down and diminish the experiences of other marginalized people, you open the door to having your own experiences marginalized. White supremacy runs so much deeper than you think. They got you wrapped around their finger doing their dirty work. They don't got to say a thing. Why? Because you're content with dehumanizing other people that are marginalized just like you. And guess what? When they get them all up out of here, who they coming for next, Daniel?
Let me Ryder at the top. Go ahead. You got 2 minutes. What do you think about should the United States be more involved in Mexico? What do you think?
Hey, what's up, man? Well, I'm a conservative, and I am proud that we're all on the same page that big government and government in general is terrible, and the smaller we can make government, the better off we all are. So I'm proud of you guys on that point. As far as Mexico, yes, when we are bordering a country that unalives thousands of our citizens, I think it is our duty to protect the American citizens, as Donald Trump said last night, that Democrats refuse to acknowledge. And I think that whether we're talking about WAR, if it comes to that point, sure, obviously the government in Mexico is incapable and in a lot of ways enabled the cartels. The previous administration in Mexico had a policy as far as the cartels that states hugs and not bullets. Yeah, how has that worked out? Not so well. So I think that the government in Mexico is bordering a third world country, and since they're incapable and they're affecting our lives, then it's our duty to go ahead and protect our American citizen. Of course, I would like to see that the Mexican government do more and stop being scared of the cartels. Let's be honest, they're scared. They're bought off and they're scared. Hundreds of Mexican politicians are unalived over the course of decades. So yeah, they're terrified. So let the United States do their job. And the hundreds of thousands of people, kids, teenagers, relationships that have been devastated by rugs coming across the border is just, I mean, when Donald Trump said these people hate America, this is what we're talking about. So I have no qualms with going to Mexico and taking care of the cartels.
Okay, let me go down. I think I saw Catalina with a flag.
Sure did.
Go ahead, Catalina.
Yeah, so much misinformation. Also, I'm just going to state that it's not the United States' job to interfere with any country. So saying let them do their job, let their job, like, I don't know, how about actually fix the country that we're in? But, you know, you voted for a fascist, so I digress on that part. Anyway, so the hugs not bullets thing, this is a bastardization of what the policy actually was under AMLO. And yes, because the translation is literally that, abrazos no balazos. But that did not mean that they were soft on it. It meant that they moved away from their kingpin strategy that was aggressively targeting cartel members because of the fallout of what it was happening. It did not legalize cartels. It did not prevent arrests, and it didn't end military operations. So what it was is that despite like all the campaign rhetoric that was criticizing this militarization, the National Guard was heavily staffed by military personnel and then later placed under the Defense Ministry control. So it shifted how they were doing the on the ground approaches. That is just a lot of right wing talking points. And again, it's not Mexico who empowered the cartels. It's literally the United States and the CIA that has been supplying them with the arms. They get them from the United States government. Like, y'all, like, we can talk about the failures of both governments, but like trying to shift the blame away from the United States, like, this is absolutely asinine. We have the documents to prove this.
Yeah, thank you, Carolina. Sissy Fist, I see you on Teacup, but you've had the longest wait, so I just want to check in with you and make sure you're good. Are you good? If not,
oh no, I'm good. I'm good.
okay.
I just
Can I respond to that? Because she
Yeah,
said
give me 1 second. Give
misinformation.
me 1 second. All right, you good, Sissy Fist?
yeah, I'm good.
Okay.
If he wants to go, I can respond after him. But
Okay.
I'm also
No, you're
addressing
good.
him.
You're good. I already
Okay.
went. I thought you weren't going to say anything. You can go ahead.
Yeah, no, I always have something to say, unfortunately. But don't laugh just yet. I'm addressing you. Similar to what Carolina said, the bulk of what you said was misinformation. I think that the idea that the United States needs to be this world police is so antithetical to you saying that you're a conservative, because being the world police requires like big, massive, grotesque government. That is literally what it entails to go in and destabilize these countries and like take things from people. So those things don't really make sense to me. I'm curious as to how they make sense to you. And then for you to say that like these people need to take accountability for what their government is doing and all of this and all of that, but you don't have those same thoughts and feelings toward the United States. And I know that you don't, because you voted for a conservative, and not just a conservative, a literal fascist. And so I'm misunderstanding how people, especially in the imperial core, can be like, oh, this country disenfranchises gay people or black people, or they don't take care of their citizens, when we have starving, disenfranchised people here. And you guys only want to look at the starving, disenfranchised people in the global south or in the hegemonies of the world that are not us. It just is really odd to me. So I'm trying to figure out why this is how you've been able to compartmentalize this in your brain.
Okay. So we'll let Ryder, you got 1 minute to respond. Go ahead.
Right. So as far as misinformation, fact number one, hundreds of Mexican politicians have been unalive. They're incapable of handling the problem. Fact number two, hugs and not bullets was a failed policy. How do we know it was a failed policy? Because look at what the current president of Mexico is doing now as far as getting rid of the most wanted and the most detrimental cartel leader to the Mexican government and the United States. With a shift in policy, they were able to eliminate him in record time. And as far as when she first got elected, and I give her credit to that. She has her issues, but I give her credit for that. When you have a country where cartels are literally raiding institutions, that is a third world country. So save me that BS. Also, the fascists you're talking about, remember when he was almost unalived? The party that you voted for stood up and say, wait a minute, don't unalive the fascists. We got to stop. Don't unalive the fascists.
Oh, I
If he
say
was really a
unalive the
fascist,
fascists.
hold on, if he was
Hold on,
really
y'all.
a fascist,
Yep.
and if he was really Schmittler, I would be actually go ahead and do that. So yeah, the Democrats don't believe what they're selling you guys. You guys just eat it up.
Okay, let me go to Suave. I saw Suave flag misinformation. Suave,
I
give
got
you
my
1
hands
minute.
up too.
Yeah,
I got
and
you.
I'm also
You
not
got
a
it.
Democrat, you fucking weirdo.
Okay. So go ahead, Suave. Suave, you're on mute if you're speaking.
Okay, so my bad. So see, here's one thing I dislike because I'm not gonna use the word hate because that's a I'm a Christian, so I wouldn't use that word, right? But one thing I dislike is when your own people going against their own people. Like, yo, understand you're of an immigrant family and you're in America. What is the problem of I'm Mexican and I have the Mexican flag on me? It's not about being prideful. It's I'm pride from where I come from. There's a difference between prideful and being pride. You probably wouldn't know this, so let me break it down real quick. So let's just say I'm a rapper. Me being proud of my music, me being prideful, saying I'm the best rapper alive. That's called being prideful. So for a person to have a flag of theirs doesn't mean they're prideful or they don't care about where they're at. They're just having pride from where they came from. That's called history.
All right. Thank you,
Okay.
Suave. Hold on, y'all. Hold on, real quick. I
Just
think.
give a quick
I got my
question.
hands up too.
Yeah, I got you, Daniel. So let me go to Covey
Tina
and then
had a
Daniel.
flag too.
Yeah, just a very quick question to
I call
Call me
Ryder.
Ryder.
Jigsaw?
It's a yeah.
call
Just
me
call
Ryder.
me
Ryder.
Ryder.
Okay,
You're
sorry,
fine.
Ryder. You said that because they raided institutions, that means it's a third world country, right?
Yes, with guns and unaliving. How many military
Mm-hmm.
guards in Mexico were unalive? I believe it was 20 something. That is unacceptable for a country that supposedly isn't a third world country. Imagine a group,
Mm-hmm.
a far right group in America, unaliving 22
Exactly.
military members or 22 police officers
Exactly. I
or raiding
agree. I
embassies
agree.
in America.
I agree, Ryder. Imagine if a far right group went into an institution building and beat up police officers
Oh,
and
January
threatened to
6th.
unalive politicians. I agree. And also injured and unalive police. I 100% agree that country is a third world country. Thank
No
you.
one was unalived on
Yeah.
January
So
6th.
January 6th. Exactly. January
No one
6th.
was
Thank you,
unalived
Ryder.
on January 6th
Okay.
as a fact check.
So hold
And
on,
also,
real
There
quick.
was.
Yeah, hold on, Ryder. Hold on, real quick. Let me go to Covey. Did you want to make a broader point on January 6th, or are you good?
No. So I'm just saying. I think like it's very interesting that the same metric that is applied to other countries is not applied to America. Because you just said them raiding an institution, a public institution, makes it a third world country.
and
I
I also
agree.
say
America
unaliving
America
22
is a third world
National
country,
Guard.
which is why the far right militias which raided Capitol Hill were then pardoned by your president who has 34 felonies.
Raided.
Yes,
Yeah,
I agree.
they raided by entering
And
doors that were
wait,
opened up
Okay.
to them.
America's a third
Also,
world
the
country.
So
But y'all
idea
real
that
quick,
government
y'all.
here.
Real quick.
hold on, let me respond to that because that was a bunch of
So
malarkey.
you got
The
like
idea that a
Don't
bunch
tell
of
the host what to do,
oh
though.
my bad.
yeah. Let me come in. Let me let Daniel. Daniel's been waiting. Go ahead, Daniel.
I laughed at that like nonsense though. Whoever said America's a third world country, but yet all y'all want to come in here, really banging on the door to get our resources and take them away from Black people. But I digress. Let me go back to originally with this conversation. Somebody has said we're trying to get immigrants out of here. I know this is not an immigrant conversation. When you talk about Mexico, this is what always comes up and things like that. The unaliver of the indigenous young girl and the unaliver of that Black man in the South or whatever. Where are the investigators for their unalivements and things like that? We can't get nowhere if we have undocumented over here taking all the shine away from American citizens. Though many of people in my community are being unalived on a daily, but no one's focusing on that because of what ICE is doing, trying to get y'all out of here and things like that. Though like I said last time on this panel, my Black people, my family is in the goddamn crossfire, and that SHIT has to stop today. Today.
All right. Let me go. Catalina, I know you want to jump in. Go ahead.
Oh my God. Like, this is, I mean, sir, just point me to the Mexican who broke your heart at this point. My God. I have never seen such an incessant desire to constantly bring up immigrants who are not doing shit to your daily life. Like, you're absolutely crazy. But this is a third world country. And since you wanted to say y'all, I will remind you, sir, that I am American Indian, that this is my land and I am the original people of this land. And I'm calling it a third world country. So all this disdain you have for immigrants, I'm saying the same thing, bro. And if anybody has a right to say it, I do. Like, seriously, Daniel, I don't know what your issue is. Every single time you're here, you throw a fit. This is the last time I'm coming here. And then you come back the next day and you spew more xenophobia. And weirdly enough, you hate me so much, yet you were like watching all of my stories last week. That's crazy work, my guy. I know you guys have a secret obsession, but I'm just saying, like, seriously, I need you to go to therapy at this point. Undocumented immigrants are not ruining your life. And even before the ICE surges, tell me what the hell the United States government was doing about what's going on in the Black and brown communities here, in Black and indigenous communities. You're blaming it on saying that ICE has to be focused on immigrants. Before the ICE surges, before Donald Trump's administration, tell me what the United States was doing to alleviate the issues and the unalivings in the Black and indigenous communities. I'll wait.
All right, let me.
Locking up criminals and not releasing them 99 times. Maybe that's a good idea in Saint cities where Democratic judge
I don't know what
and
the hell you're
lenient
talking about. I wasn't talking to you.
and lenient prosecutors. Why should someone get out of prison 99 times to then go unalive somebody? And by the way, the idea that J6, where a bunch of idiots went and sat down in bullhorn costumes and took a shit on Nancy Pelosi's desk, is somehow comparable to the Mexican cartels raiding, taking hostages, unaliving dozens of people. Yeah, that is definitely not apples and oranges. So that's a great and genuine point you made right there. You don't even believe that yourself. So, and when did he ever say he hates Mexican? This is the problem with you guys. First of all, you're crazy, and you lack the capacity to understand nuance in whatever topic we're discussing. You guys on the left never can understand nuanced conversation, and that speaks to your larger intellect, unfortunately.
All right, let me go to Sissy Fitz. Go ahead, Sissy Fitz. I'll give you 2 minutes.
I love when we start talking about nuance. I love it so bad. I do want a source for that 99 times. I'm assuming you're talking about the man who unalived that little white girl on the bus after he was let go from several facilities. I would like the 99 number. That's crazy work. But
one was released 99
I'm actually
times.
not
One was
done.
released
Hold on,
77 times.
I'm
One was
not
released
done.
50
Hold on,
times.
right
I'm
there.
not done. I'm not done. Just because I asked you
You
for
asked for a source. I just gave
yeah.
you
So when I'm done talking, then you can give me the source. But just because I asked you for the source and now you feel a little crummy inside because you know that you were inflammatory about what you said, does not mean you can cut me off. Since we're talking about nuance, when you give me your source, I also need us to acknowledge that that man was suffering from mental health issues. So it wasn't like he was let go 99 times for criminal behavior. And we're using 99 because that was your number. He wasn't let go 99 times for criminal behavior. He was in psychiatric facilities and no one helped him. So you're acting like these people are criminals. They're disenfranchised by the government that you keep supporting. Whereas the people who went and did J6 and did cause officers to lose their life, and it's got to be some real shit for me to defend a cop. I don't believe in cops, but caused officers to lose their life, climbing through the broken windows of the Capitol building. And I heard you say that the Capitol was open that day. It was not. Now you can speak.
You haven't watched the videos, obviously. And by the way, let me go get the source. I can bring up a handful of people. Okay, sure. Let's grant you that argument that he did have a mental illness. What about the other one? What about the other one? What about the other one? Did they all have mental illness? What about the one that was released 50 times? But you're gonna call me a liar. So let me go get the source and let's see how genuine you are. Let's see if you're gonna concede or let's see if you're gonna move the goalposts. We'll see. And if that's the case, then there's no point in having a conversation with you. And I'll be right back.
The irony of this is that he just moved the goalpost, but it's okay. It's fine.
Literally.
All right,
Mind you, Trump pardoned a international
Can I have next?
drug trafficker. But
Yeah. Let me let Suave go ahead, Suave, and then I want to get Swan.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay, so we're talking about criminals and crimes, right? So if you do your research, right, and you do research, right, how can illegal immigrants do the most crimes in America if America is nothing but Americans? But because if you tell me that illegal immigrants are doing the most crimes, that must mean there's more illegal immigrants in America. Which
So Suave,
that's
let's
not
just
a
use
fact. That's
real quick, bro. Let's use undocumented.
okay, undocumented, right?
Mm-hmm.
So no one's speaking on the fact that, okay, so we're just gonna go by crimes that are like real bad crimes, right? Like them school pew pew pew, right? No one's talking about that though. What about those? Those were done by American citizens, not undocumented, right? We're not gonna speak on that. Or what about the crimes are, even if you do your research right now, you can see that the crimes that are being committed mostly about American white men, not black men, not brown men, not undocumented men. Mostly, majority of white men, Americans, doing the crimes in America. Donald Trump, doesn't he has like 40 something felonies still holding on him? Like, are y'all serious? And he's on the E-files. Like, y'all not talking about this though. Y'all not talking about this white man that y'all voted for is on the E-files, yo. Like, the E-files. It's like talking about the Bible. We talking about the E-files. Like the stuff that they was doing to kids. Not to grown women, to kids. And you telling me you okay with this because he's so-called a good president, what he's doing is good and everything, but you're not seeing the bigger picture. He was doing this to kids, yo. Like, man, you gotta be messed up when you talking about mentally ill. No, you probably mentally ill to vote for this man.
All right. Thank you, Suave. Let me go to Swan. Swan, 2 minutes, fam.
Yeah, I'm gonna continue to Barney and ABC this conversation. So, okay, let's. I don't know if anybody listened to the State of the Union. I don't know if anybody listened to the Board of Peace press conference. I don't know if people listened to the press conference and listened to Trump's response to the decision on tariffs. First of all, that man doesn't know if he's coming or going. Okay. And I quote, he said, I went to China and they treated me real good. I saw the military. They were all the same height, about within 1/8 of an inch to each other. You can do that when you have 1.4 billion people. And, I was thinking if I took their hats off, I could play pool on their heads. He said that Melania's film was #1. And he said that she's a superstar, best documentary in 20 years. And he said that women in America loved it. And we went to go watch it 2, 3, 4 times. Okay. Y'all think that this president is equipped, right, to handle a war or going into another country, and you think that what he's done with this economy, that our economy would survive this? Like, you're saying that we are delusional? No, you guys are delusional. Ryder, I don't even think that you're able to comprehend the conversation that we are having with you. You're up here shadowboxing. You have ignored all of the valid points that they've made, and you've incorporated things into this discussion that don't prove anybody wrong. It doesn't make any sense, right? Like, what would be the benefit from any of this if we were to go in there and to invade? Also, you contradicted yourself when you first spoke. You said, oh yeah, government, it should be smaller, blah, blah, blah. Oh yeah, you know what? No, we should go in there and do this, that, and the third. I don't think that you understand the conversation. Like, y'all don't have the education required to be able to have an equitable dialogue about these things. I'll end there.
Thank you, Swan. I appreciate you. All right. Oh, real quick, Ryder. Give me a second. Let's do a quick poll. If you do support more government intervention in Mexico, put a 1 in the comments. If you are like, no, we don't need to be in Mexico, put a 2. I just want to see where the chat is. And then go ahead, Ryder. I'll give you a 1 minute response. Go ahead.
First of all, it's not a contradiction. I never did once say that I don't believe in government. I say that government should be as small as possible. So that, again, the inability to understand nuanced conversation is proven by your statement. I say that as small as we can possibly make government, the better off we are. Obviously, we need government because, surprise, surprise, people are incapable of governing themselves, as we can well imagine. But Courtney Booth, 41, Indiana man arrested 99 times, keyword, arrested. Chicago man arrested 70 times. Lawrence Reed, keyword, arrested. We're not talking about mental institution. We're not talking about him going to a facility where he's getting treatment for his mental illness. We're talking about arrested for violent crime.
He's American, though.
Hold on, brother.
Hold on. The conversation is about Democrats being lenient on crime. It's not about immigrants. I can get to immigrants, but don't move the goalpost because you're going to prove my point. Again, so I am the one that's bringing the sources. You guys are speaking conspiracy theories. Oh, the government gave Mexico this and flooded the black community with drugs. And I'm sure you're going to spit a whole bunch of other BS conspiracy theories that's unsubstantiated.
Okay. You're on time. All right, let me go to Lexi. Anything else you want to say, fam? I do gotta let you go, but I'll give you 2 minutes if you want it.
Yes. I just wanted to bring up the fact that in the United States right now, if you don't know for Ryder, in the United States, a lot of our disabled community, they're losing their disability, they're losing their health care, they're losing services. So in the United States, we already have enough problems on our own that we need to take care of these problems first. I know that we've moved a little bit away from the actual point that was brought up by Smitty about the US being involved in Mexico. Um, I don't think we should be involved. We need to leave Mexico alone, let them deal with their own stuff, and how about we deal with our stuff here? How about we take care of the children who are losing their benefits for being disabled? How about we take care of our education system that is going down the drain because it's here where I'm at? They're talking about cutting 7% of staff at schools. What do you think that's going to do for our communities? What do you think that's going to do for the United States, for our children? So, how about we focus more on what we're doing within the United States and how we're hurting ourselves rather than talking about all of these other points? The whole point is that we need to take care of us here in the United States before we do anything else. And I don't agree with anything that you're saying, Ryder. I think that your information is incorrect. I really think that you should maybe research a little bit more, but that's my point. I'm landing, and thank you, Smitty, for having me up. Carolina, Swan, Sissy, Kobe, I love you all. Thank you.
Have
All
a
right,
good day, friend.
thank you,
Hey,
Lexi.
Smitty,
One second,
can I
y'all. One second.
correct something
Yeah,
about what
give
you
me
said
1
about the
second.
Indiana man? Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Just give me 1 second. Yeah, I appreciate everybody. Let's continue to tap the screen. Thank you, Lily, for coming up. I appreciate you. Let's see if we can get to 170,000 likes. Now, it looks like there were quite a
And I
few
want to go
people.
next.
Yeah, give me 1 second, brother. It looks like there were quite a few people that are for more U.S. government intervention. If you are, put a 1 in if you're in the request so I can bring you up. I'm going to bring up Black Cabinet right now, but I will get you up to have a balanced panel. All right, let me do this. Catalina, go ahead.
Thank you. So the reason why I wanted to bring this up is because he invoked my city. Indianapolis is where that case is from, and I'm actually familiar with the case. And this is why I can't remember who it was, so I can't credit you right now, but whoever said about headline hoochies, oh, I love you, because this is what people do. They are headline hoochies and don't look into it. So the man he was talking about is Corey Booz, 41-year-old, and he had been arrested 99 times. This does not mean he had committed 99 crimes. This does not mean he had 99 convictions. He had been arrested 99 times. The reason why he was not in jail or off the street is because a majority of these were misdemeanor trespassing issues. This is a man with mental health issues. I'm not excusing that, but a lot of that stems from having misdemeanor trespassing issues. That's why he was not in jail. They checked the IDOC. He had never been in prison. Misdemeanors are automatic releases under our bail system in Indiana. So that is why, had he been charged with a level 6 felony prior to that, a cash bond would have been required. So you have to stop using misinformation, and you need to look at what the data is actually saying. You cannot just read a headline and go with this narrative. And I will remind you that unfortunately, Indiana is a red conservative state. Okay. Indianapolis, yes. But this man has been living here, and under the district attorney has been Democratic and Republican at different points throughout his life. So it has nothing to do with this quote unquote Democrats being soft on crime bullshit. It has to do with the state laws that are in place, which are run by the idiotic, disgusting, sister breeding, anyway, let me chill, Republicans in my state.
All right, let me go.
The problem with
Ryder,
your
go ahead. Give me a
argument,
minute. Then I'm going
the
to
problem
Daniel.
with your argument is crime is enforced on a local level, not the federal, not the state level. So that's one flaw in your argument. The second, the crimes are enforced and laws are enforced on the local municipal level, not the state level. Secondly, how did that work out? Yeah, sure. We're gonna be so lenient on misdemeanor 99 times to the tune that ultimately a life was cost. Obviously, those policies are failing. Obviously, I don't care if it's a misdemeanor or a felony. You get in trouble 99 times. Obviously, something is wrong with you, and releasing you to the public is negligent and is you forfeiting your oath of protecting the people that you were sworn in office to protect. So yeah, nice moving of the goalpost, nice semantics, nice whatever you want to call it, misinformation. At the end of the day, if you are a dysfunctional member of society, and if you are you are not respective of laws, you should not be in the free world. I don't care if you're mentally ill or not, because if you're mentally ill, you can take my life or someone who I love's life.
Yeah, you're on time. Let me go to Daniel, but folks, all right, if we can bring it back to the topic of should the U.S. be more involved in Mexico? What do you think? Go ahead, Daniel.
Yeah, and I gotta be dropping pretty soon too. I gotta get my nieces for this event. But even to a lot of points that I'm gonna go to the topic at hand, but I have to still address some points though. And like in Carolina, don't think you're anything special though. I study my enemies. Don't think just because I viewed your story means there's any obsession. This is what warfare is. You gotta know your opponent inside and out. And I was also to check and see if you all suppose anything about black people, just to make sure you practice what you preach. But that's neither here or there and things like that. But my point still remains at the beginning of this conversation, back to the prompt, is that no, America should not get involved though. Their governments are shit. Y'all gotta fight and drain that swamp yourselves. You perpetuated that beast, and now you gotta drain the swamp. And don't come bamming on America's door when you want some help. All right. That's what I'm trying, and that's what really irritates me. Just don't do that.
Hold on. So, yeah. So, calling Carolina your enemy, even for me as just being a moderator, that's uncomfortable. So I'm gonna let you go, brother. I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna let you think about that one. Yeah, I don't know about that one.
Can I say something, sorry?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. First of all, Broski thinks he's Light Yagami from Death Note when the way he was speaking thought he was like an anime character or something like that, okay? But second of all, I think the question is posed wrong, in my opinion. It shouldn't be, should the U.S. be involved, because the U.S. is already involved, right? And I think like a lot of people don't understand that. They think that the U.S. is going to be involved. Well, how is it going to be involved when it already is involved? And it has been involved for decades. There hasn't been a single point in time where the U.S. has not... Can you please mute, Ryder? Can you please mute? You have a background. No, thank you. And that's why I think that this question within itself is posed wrong. I think that this idea that Americans are now having to debate whether America should be involved or not is just the wrong perspective. I think what should be debated is, should it continue being involved or not? Because it is already involved. It has already destabilized all of Latin America and Mexico. Like, it has destabilized the Caribbean, Central America, South America. There isn't a single country that America has not been involved in these continents, right? So I think the better question here would be, should the U.S. continue being involved?
Okay. Fair enough, and thank you. I appreciate that. Let me go to Black Cabinet. Go ahead, Black Cabinet.
No, thank you, Smitty. I'm a little upset because you took my plate away. You come after my sister. I was gonna really eat that dude alive, especially if you're cosplaying Malcolm X. Probably never read a Malcolm X book from cover to cover. He probably the only Malcolm X book he probably has dust on it, and he's gonna come up here with his dusty ass with a Malcolm X and cosplaying Malcolm X like he knows something. But I really came to talk to the guy below me, because it's wild how you're criminalizing homelessness. A guy being arrested for trespassing is because they're sleeping in front of a storefront that has light at night, and they call the cops on them in the morning when they arrive. I don't think that's a crime to be homeless. The crime is how we do not take care of our people. That's the crime. The crime is how we do not want to give health care to our people. That's the crime. And so because this person is trying to find a place out of the rain to sleep and he gets arrested for that, you're saying that the guy is doing his misdemeanor is now a violent crime, a violent act, sleeping in front of a storefront with light, and now that person is a crime? I mean, I just hear yourself, and one of these days, hopefully, I just hope capitalism treats you well the rest of your life. Because if capitalism wanted to, it'll eat you alive, and you could be that same person with 99 arrests sleeping in front of a storefront. And honestly, I really hope it happens to you. Happy capitalism, bro. Thank you, Smitty.
Yeah, thank you, Black Emily.
Capitalism has been really good to me, and I'm sure you see the bike. That's made possible because of capitalism. Unfortunately, I don't want to live in a communist country where the government tell me what I can and cannot own. And by the way, the idea that this guy was arrested 99 times for sleeping somewhere he shouldn't be sleeping. Yeah, I've got a lot of money for you if that's the case. I've got a lot of money for you. If this man was arrested 99 times, hold on, I didn't interrupt you. I didn't interrupt you.
Watch with me, I'll eat you alive.
There goes 30 seconds of my time. But either way, the idea that this man was arrested 99 times for what you just mentioned is disingenuous, first of all. Let's grant you that that was the case. Again, I can give you a handful of people. I gave you two because I didn't want to be on teacup for too long, and I don't have a second device where I can give you names after names after names of people that has been arrested dozens of times without mental illnesses. So again, your argument is just unsubstantiated, and I get where the guy was coming from. I didn't think he mean any harm, but when you come to the country that potentially saved your life because you would have unalived in your home country, and then you talk a bunch of shit about it and say that it's worse than the country that you came from. Yeah, I think you're kind of the enemy in a way because you're not respecting the country that potentially saved your life.
Your time. Black Emily, you got a minute if you want it.
Oh, no, I already addressed mine because my thing is when people are up here literally weaponizing their ignorance, I ain't really got time for that. You take care, Smitty. You could drop me down.
All right, brother. All right. Somebody flag. Oh, Kathleen, I just saw the flag. Go ahead.
I did. Quick question. And Black Cabinet, I love you, bro. I love you so much, Lloyd. But to Ryder, first of all, this is going to be real quick. Where are you from?
I am from South America. I won't get into specifics, but that's all you need to know.
Are you serious? I have a suspicion.
Yeah. Are you going to prove my point that you guys are incapable of understanding nuance?
I'm taking my time back. What's funny is I don't know who the hell you're talking about saying you come from other countries. Who are you talking to? I'm from here. I'm indigenous to here. So who are you talking about? Because I'm saying F America. I'm saying that it's a shithole country. I'm saying that this government is corrupt and disgusting and that your president is not only a racist, white supremacist, fascist, and PDF file. I'm saying he's the most incompetent person who has ever ran for public office in the history of public office. The man has the IQ of not even a sack of potatoes, one potato. So I'm saying that, and I'm not an immigrant. So you, as an immigrant, with all of your glorious audacity, and I have a real big suspicion on where you're actually from, but this is just insane to me. I gave you the source. I read off the information. This isn't speculation. His arrest record was mostly for trespassing, misdemeanor trespassing. I gave it to you. Don't sit here and try to gaslight us.
First of all, I wasn't talking to you.
Real quick, Ryder. Let me let Suave come in because I think Suave wants to address you as well. So
okay.
Yeah. Go ahead, Suave.
Okay, so this is exactly what I was talking about earlier. When you got an immigrant talking down about other immigrants, yo, are you say you're from South America, whether you is or you're not, whether you're telling the truth or not. Just the simple fact that if you're trying to gaslight, cosplay, whatever you want to do, right? But as an immigrant, you talking down on other immigrants, yo, are you serious? Now you making my people and our people look bad that are our immigrants, because I'm first generation American. You know what I'm saying? So for you, man, that's messed up, yo. That really is messed up. But here's the thing, right? So if you're saying that this about immigrants and whatnot, then don't come to America. Like, don't even put that in your head to come to America. Don't even talk about coming to America. Don't even put that in your sentence about coming to America. If that's the case, if you really have something against immigrants going to America, you as an immigrant, just don't go to America. United States of America, the continent, not the country, right? Not the continent, the country, right? But so here's the thing, right? About the dude that was talking, I guess he was an FBA or something. Like, I don't got a problem with nobody, right? But when people start just saying stuff just to say stuff, okay, so the Queen of the South, if you actually know about Queen of the South, the Mexicans didn't like her because of what she did, right? Okay, let's just be real. She got with a black man, got married to the black man while the black man was in prison, and left. But what people don't know is that this Queen of the South woman that was distributing rugs in America was with the black man. So the dude earlier talking about all these illegal immigrants, yo, what about the black man? Is he not going to take him accountability for that too? You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, if everybody's talking about taking accountability, let's take accountability all the way around across the board. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Illegal immigrants,
So you guys continue to prove my point after point.
Go ahead, Brandon. 1 minute. Then
Point after point that you are incapable of understanding nuance. First of all, Carolina, I was not Carolina. I was not talking. Well, Carolina, I wasn't talking to you. I specifically said immigrants. If you're not an immigrant, keep it pushing. I was specifically talking about immigrants that came here and talk shit and put the country down. Secondly, you lack the ability, not you, Carolina, but the guy below me, lack the ability to understand nuance. The only argument better than what you're making that, oh, you're an immigrant, why are you talking shit about immigrant? Well, there's legal immigrant and there's illegal immigrant. There's immigrant that respect the laws and assimilate, and there's immigrants that come here and chant death to America. So yeah, nuance is very important. Secondly, hold on 1 second. My time is being deducted.
Undocumented, not illegal.
Hold on. All right, undocumented, excuse me. Secondly, again, the only argument better than that is me as a black man saying, how dare you talk shit about Bill Cosby? He's a black man. No, he's a serial rapist. So again, I do not subscribe to a country. I do not subscribe to a race. And I do not believe that just because I'm black or I'm from a specific country that I must hold those ideologies or support those, especially if it's not in alignment with our laws and morals.
Okay, you're on time. Let me go. Real quick, Swami.
Can I answer that?
Let me just get one of the new panelists in. I know you want to come in, but let me get the new panelists worked in real quick. I just want to get their perspectives. And Swan, I got you. I know you want to jump in as well. We got about 30 minutes, y'all, so let's finish strong. We're at about 175,000 likes. Not bad. Not bad. Let's get it up to 200,000 before we leave. Will be amazing. Brian, what are your thoughts? Should the U.S. be more involved in Mexico? What do you think?
Hi. No, absolutely not. Did he? Oh, he left. Oh my God. I wanted to address him. I've been on plenty of panels with him. Maybe, I don't think he left because of me, but I'm pretty sure he said he's Haitian. Just so everybody knows, I'm pretty sure he said that. Not that it matters. Because I've been trying to figure out who exactly is he talking about when it comes to undocumented immigrants that have said DEATH to America. Like, who is he talking about? Even if they did say that, it's freedom of speech, as long as, you know, I don't really care if they say it. But it's just strange how, as we're talking about this conversation, should we be involved in Mexico when we historically have destabilized countless countries across the world for almost a century now, as you guys talk about it all the time? This conservative loser, is saying that he doesn't like when people come here and are upset with how this government treats the rest of the world. Are you freaking kidding me?
Okay, thank you, Brian. All right, we're gonna go to Pelos de Elote. How are you? Welcome.
Hi,
what do you think?
Good. I hope you're doing well.
Thanks, ma'am.
I listen to your lives a lot. This is my first time, so I'm a little nervous. I'm sorry.
Oh, y'all good.
I think I bring a unique perspective just because my family is actually from Jalisco. But I don't think the U.S. should be more involved in, like, Mexico. The only way that I think maybe if there is, like, I guess like tourists that need to go back to the US. So like if they need to send a plane over there to make sure that the US citizens are okay. I think that's the only way they should be involved. But I do agree that the US has been involved for a long period of time, right? Providing like weapons to the cartels. The head of the Jalisco cartel is now a U.S. citizen, and I'm kind of surprised that that has not been mentioned. But that's something that we need to talk about, right? The U.S. is constantly involved in like Mexico affairs, and I think that this was a way to like destabilize Mexico, right? Claudia Sheinbaum, I think, has been working to fix like systemic issues within Mexico. Like, for example, like providing the schools to rural areas in Mexico. So kids are more, schools are closer to the kids and they are more likely to go to school now. So lowering the risks of them going into like these cartels. There's also like more social, I guess, like, how do I say it, like social resources. So people are getting food from the government, like 3 meals a day. I know my grandpa used to get those when he was like alive and stuff like that. There's also the I don't know, it was
So,
they were working on it, right?
yeah. No, I got you.
They were working on it, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And
Okay.
I don't like that the US came into it and like disrupted it.
Got you. No, I appreciate that. And thank you for watching. I really appreciate that. You did great. This is your first time on a live. That was fantastic. So I appreciate you, Pelos. So Luis asks a question in the chat. He says, if you want America to stay out of it, to stay out of it, then how are the Americans going to come back? So if somebody wants to take Luis's question.
Can I answer that?
No, can I answer that?
Hang on a second.
Por favor.
Clarification.
Por favor.
Yeah, I'm just asking clarification real quick. Is he saying the U.S. citizens who are vacationing there? Is that what he's talking about?
Right, because they're still going to gentrify.
I don't want to assume.
Okay.
They're still going to gentrify, so I don't know what.
Por favor.
Okay, go ahead, Boricua. Go ahead.
Por favor, Smitty.
You knew.
Okay, gracias, Smitty. Todo el mundo, please tap the screen. I'm ashamed. Give him a money gun. What are we doing, man? Smitty does this all the time. Where's that one guy? I'm on break. Listen, puñeta, I have 2 businesses. I have breaks too. And I took my break so I could address you, but you ran off like a little pendejo that you are. Let me explain something, Americans. Yo soy Boricua de Puerto Rico. Guess what country still owns us? The U.S. Yeah, we're colonized. Imagine that. The only country still colonized by the U.S. Come back here, pendejo. Let me explain something about colonizing. Number 1, stop talking about who's undocumented, who's legal. We are still owned by the United States. Ain't that some funny ass shit? So let me explain how I understand colonizers. You tap dancing really hard and don't come for me. I'm black. Yeah, I'm black. I'm Latina and I'm indigenous. I'm off of all of that diaspora. If you come for me and you come for Swam, Carolina, or anybody else, you don't want to. I used to work for the 3-letter. You do not want to come for me. I have receipts. Swan knows that too. Number 3 and number 4 and number 5, because I actually own shit. Motherfucker, come back here, you motherfucker. Talking about, well, they should work harder. Fuck you, respectfully. I used to work as a VA nurse. And you know what? I saw a person who lost the use of their legs because they got in a car accident. So stop with all that pretentious bullshit. Anything can be taken from you in the United States of America, motherfucker. And then you'll end up somewhere. Also, give respect to Black Cabinet. He's a fucking veteran. And if you haven't shut up and served, then you shut the fuck up and go somewhere under a fucking rock. I'm sorry I'm cursing, pero lo voy a decir en español para ese puñeta. Mira, te voy a decir algo. A mí no me importa. Thank you. Good. Keep giving to Smitty. I don't care. Because you know what? Black Americans deserve reparations, number 1. I want to see that shit on a tax receipt for the rest of my life till I'm gone. Number 3, indigenous people own this goddamn land. If you are not indigenous, get the fuck out if you got a problem with motherfuckers coming here. Number 4, and I'm done because I actually have to go back to my black job telling people what to do for a fucking living because I like that shit. Yeah, living because I like that shit. Yeah, living because I like that shit. Yeah, look at me, a black living because I like that shit. Yeah, look at me, a black woman who's able to tell people what to do. I live there. Go ahead, Swan. Now you can drop me. Now you can drop me. Now you can drop me.
Y'all hear me? Come back. You hear me?
This is a problem. Like, he doesn't understand how capitalism works, right? Like, saying, because the things that he was complaining about that are, I guess, negative things about the United States, it literally is because of capitalism. It doesn't make any sense. He was saying that what else did he say? Oh yeah, everything is good for him. But what he fails to realize, and anybody with a brain would understand, that there are so many issues happening within the United States in terms of our economy. Again, we like, I don't really think that we can function if we go and invade another country or go to war or whatever the case is. It's just going to tank the economy, and Trump has already done a horrible job with our economy, right? I don't think that enough people know and understand, like, there's 2.2 million people here in the United States that don't have access to running water. We throw away more food than what we consume, right? Sorry, excuse me. We have more vacant homes, right, than people that are actually housed. I don't think that people understand how capitalism works, right? Capitalism is not something that's going to benefit the American people. It is only ever going to benefit those that are in power, which are older white men. It's just not going to happen for us. And I think the other part is, that's what I was saying earlier. If you don't know what like Bohemian Grove is, if you are not connected to the PayPal mafia, okay, if you are not an investor for Palantir, you're not making any real money, bro. You're just not. That accent ain't never gonna allow you to make the same amount of money that the people that truly benefit from capitalism are getting. Ryder, that accent, I want to make sure you heard me, Ryder. That accent is never going to allow you to benefit from capitalism the same way that those at the top do. They will never share a table with you. They will never let you pull up a chair to their table, ever. It's not happening. It's not happening. What they do is they make you feel as though you've been successful, right? And then they take you and they weaponize you against other people. Like, nothing that he said was factually correct at all. And he also was very fixated on these isolated incidents and not understanding how imperialism works, not understanding how the United States likes to perpetuate imperialism, and he doesn't understand how capitalism works either. This is why I was saying a lot of people can't engage in these discussions for real, because they lack the basic education of how these systems function. Like, he didn't know what he was talking about. But that's all I wanted to say towards him. He's not up here anyway, so it's fine.
Thank you, fam. Hey, I'm gonna end the live. Something's going on with my app. I can't. Can y'all hear me?
The 3-letter agency.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Cat
We can hear you. I don't
agency.
see you moving now, Smitty.
Okay. All right. Yeah, something was.
It was probably me. I used to work for the 3-letter. Ryder, get your punk ass up here, talking all that shit in the chat. Come up here, motherfucker.
Okay. So I hear it's glitching. I may either restart it, or we'll come back tomorrow for sure. But because